Get up, mother.
Just get up.
You go down, get back up, and keep getting back up.
You gotta embrace the storms.
You get up. You don't want to go run, you go run. And I lost. And lost and lost and lost. And lost and lost and lost and won and lost. And won and won and won and won and won. My fucking mindset is I will not lose. Lose. I don't lose. I win. I will not fucking lose, man. I win. That's my job. That's what I do. I will win.
It says, may God have mercy upon my enemies, because I won't.
You want to be that one that every day, whether it's raining, snowing, sleeting, you lost every dime, your mom died, your dad died. You come and you bring the energy that it takes to make a team function at the highest level every day. And that's the person you want to be every day of your life.
Fears that we have, those moments of suffering, they're all part of the process. They're all part of growth. It's nature, right? You got to be able to handle those things, man. You don't run from those moments.
Yeah, right.
You don't run from them. You embrace them.
You've got to pay a price to be the best. The best pay a big price. You've got to work harder. You've got to commit more. You've got to take more responsibility. You've got to deal with more ups and downs. How much are you willing to suffer?
The single best question to work out what you should be doing next year. What would have to happen by the end of 2026 for me to look back on 2026 and consider it a success? I think that really helps to just give you a bit more perspective.
Listen to me. Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. If you do catch an elevator to the top, you're not going to stay there.
Exactly.
Because there are some steps along the way that you had to have stepped on
To prepare you.
to keep you, to maintain you. And if you don't step on all the steps, you can't stay where the elevator took you. You're going to crumble.
It's a part of a blessing.
The creative advice that I would give, write down all your fears, your flaws, your insecurities, the guilt, the pressures. Look at them on a list. Know they're all distractions. Once you do that, you will experience your life uninterrupted. That is the most important thing that you can do for your creativity, is to eliminate all the distractions, period.
Nothing's ever going to be given to you. Everything's going to be earned. If you don't go out there and put in the work, you don't go out and put in the effort, one, you're not going to get the results. But two, and more importantly, you don't deserve it. You didn't earn it.
If you're aiming towards greatness, you don't get there by what other people think. You can't make decisions based on what anyone else thinks. It doesn't work that way. I'm not changing one note with the idea of they might not like this, so I'm going to change the note. Never, ever, ever. Not one note, not one word.
The fact that so many people believe it's so hard to do so little means that if you can just, the tiniest glimmer of hope that you can self-manifest, or you're around 3 friends that you find that are a little bit more optimistic than most people are on average, that is the performance enhancer.
Yes.
The average American adult is obese, divorced, and less than $1K in the bank. That's the average.
Yeah, again, the bar is low.
Obese, divorced, less than $1K in the bank. Doing what everybody else does sounds like a safe option, but it's actually a reliable route to a life that you probably don't want.
Correct.
You know the way people say you learn more from your losses and things like that. That is true. You learn a lot from your losses, but as well as that, you learn from your wins. People can say, let's say you beat a guy, then you're at the beating that guy. You're a winner now. You know what I mean? You're a winner. So now I get to take the foot off the pedal. I don't need to learn so much. I'm at the beating this guy. I'm a winner. You know what I mean? That's gonna stop you. That can take over people, especially in this game, when you're signed to the UFC and there's all media things going on and there's people looking for pictures and shit. That can take over. That can make you feel like you're bigger than you are.
If you don't feel good, the reason you don't feel good is because you're not proud of yourself. You're not proud of yourself, it's because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not gonna fix that on a therapy couch. You're gonna fix it by getting off the couch, doing what you're supposed to do every single day, producing results that you can see and everyone else can see, and then you say, I'm a man.
And then tell me.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? You don't need to go to therapy, bro. The reason you feel like shit is because you're not doing what the you're supposed to be doing with your life. That's the truth. And we have this whole society of men that are intentionally propagated to be weak and to be people who are in touch with their feelings. Bro, you can be in touch with your feelings. You can have feelings, but they don't have to consume you. Yeah. They don't have to be your whole focus.
Well, it's that time of year again. We start to feel real happy. Why? Because we're not going to work. If you believe in Santa Claus and you celebrate Christmas, you're looking forward to Santa Claus coming down the chimney giving you some presents. It's a real good time of year. So in that good time of year, we start to feel real good about ourselves. So I start to feel great. So we start making promises to ourselves about, hey, I'm gonna lose some weight. I'm gonna do better in school. I'm gonna be better here, be better there. But guess what happens? The real Merry Christmas happens when all of that noise is gone, it's quiet, and it's you against you, and now all those endorphins are gone. And I promise you made about getting up early and getting after it to go lose weight, study harder, guess what? It's a lot harder now. That repetition becomes a lot harder now. So a lot of us can't do things on our own. So find somebody in your life. So when you throw that towel in, they throw that motherfucker back at you and say you're not done yet. Stay true to yourself, stay hard.
What kind of risk builds men?
Constantly trying to be in rooms you don't deserve to be in. Apply to schools you shouldn't get into. Apply to jobs you shouldn't get into or you shouldn't receive. Express friendship with men more impressive than you. Probably the most important thing for a young man is to surround yourself with, at least in the short term, men who you perceive as being higher character and more successful than you.
One of the most brilliant things that was ever said to me by an extremely skilled psychoanalyst is so simple, and yet I do think it's the most fundamental thing to understanding oneself, is that it's all internal, right? If you finish a marathon in first place, no one comes along and drips dopamine in your ear. You self-generate that. It's all internal. It's all about your internal representation. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't good and bad events in life, but the fact of the matter is that if you set the next milestone as just outside the distance of what you're comfortable with, and you make it there, if you allow yourself a moment to register that win, you get energy to then set the next milestone and achieve it. That energy is dopamine converted into epinephrine, into adrenaline.
And it's important that we believe that you are not alone in this journey. You're not the first person to go through what you're going through. Whether it's death, illness, whatever you're dealing with, a learning disability, you're fat, you're bullied, you are not the first person to endure whatever you're going through. So what that means is this: you are just as tough as all the other people that have endured what you are enduring right now. So always stay in the fight.
There are basically two kinds of people in life. They're winners and they're losers. And the definition is this: losers take things that happen to them and that they feel inside that suck, and they wallow and they use it for self or outward destruction. Winners take whatever they feel it, it sucks, and they transmute it into things that are good for themselves and for the world. Period. End of story.
Only risk takers win. By definition, if you are the same as everybody else, if you're not taking a risk over and above what everybody else is taking, by definition, you can't win. If you're doing exactly what everybody else is doing, how can you possibly win? You have to be different to win. You have to take risks.
This is what hard feels like. Did you expect it not to be hard? Did you expect this thing that you're trying to achieve not to be difficult? Every other person feels the exact same way. They also feel the hunger. They also feel the fatigue. They also feel the lack of motivation and the, I've got to keep the business going and I've got to keep the relationship steady and I've got to do the rest of it. Every other person that you're competing with also feels this. So when you feel that, know that this is your opportunity to separate yourself out from the pack.
The most important thing is to have a routine, consistency, not obsession. Good, don't be like Cristiano, because Cristiano is crazy, okay. But 20%, 25% is too much. Even my friends say that I'm sick to live that life. For me, it's not a big deal. I do it in a comfortable way, in a happy way. Yeah. For me, it's not sacrifice. You say, yeah, sometimes you don't want to go to the gym. Of course, no. But I go because I have a compromise with myself. But I'm not go happy every day. You think I'm wake up off the bed every day happy or with my wife or with my kids? Sometimes I'm not, but it's part of our time. We are both the same. We feel this every time. Make effort in your health.
You only got one life, guys. Again, if you work it right, You only need one. If you give it all you have, you're gonna get max potential back. And then who knows what can come. That's the beautiful thing. If you don't show up, guys, you know the outcome. You'll never get the job, never get the part, never get the girl if you don't show up. If you show up, you're putting yourself in a situation to create those opportunities.
You didn't quit. You're really like against all odds. You're doing something that no one in the family has done, that none of your friends have done. You really don't know where this is gonna end. And you're kind of adventuring into an odd place. You're discovering all new stuff that's never been done. And it's great to do this because one day you'll get tested in a different way and you'll be mentally stronger. And so I'm proud of you because this is all tough now, but it will pay off one day. Like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to run. I don't want to lift. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to eat. I go, I know, but the future me is telling you, this is great that you're doing this because you're going to have it. It's just going to be, when you need it, you'll be strong enough.
I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. I think that's what greatness is or should be. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
Life has to be hard.
Yeah.
It has to be difficult in some ways. It doesn't have to be, shouldn't be traumatic, shouldn't be, awful or painful, but things have to be hard for you to learn to do hard things.
Yeah.
And this world, like it or not, is going to demand that you do hard shit. If you want to have anything, if you want to be able to provide for your own family, have your own dreams, have, the things that you want to have, because if you don't do it, the guy next to you is going to do it better, or the woman over here is going to do it better, and you're going to lose out.
No, you have to hit rock bottom. That's the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rock bottom is beautiful. The struggle of coming back is beautiful. That struggle, it's hard. It doesn't appear like it's beautiful while you're going through it, but you're being tested, and without a test, there's no testimony. Life tests you. Sometimes life annihilates you, but it's only up to you if you want to take some more. It's gonna dish it out, but eventually, if you don't quit, it'll be merciful to you.
The fastest growth periods are often the most miserable. If you want progress, get used to pain. The worst thing that's ever happened to you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you. The hardest you've ever worked is the hardest you've ever worked. Every new challenge shows you a new territory you were scared of but survived. Every time you break a new limit, you now know you have the capacity to handle more than you ever did before. It's inverse PTSD, like workload exposure therapy, that teaches you, oh, I've been here before and I didn't die. This is okay.
There's consequences that you pay to constantly seeking comfort and avoiding discomfort and avoiding hard work. And those consequences are you're never going to feel self-realized, you're never going to feel like you accomplished anything, you're never going to have this feeling of understanding that difficulty and struggle and the ability to push through that is a muscle, and you develop that muscle by doing it. And once you do, you develop a lot of self-satisfaction, and you develop peace of mind, and you understand that you can overcome obstacles. If you don't have to overcome obstacles, you never know whether or not you can.
People want to find their passion, but you don't find it, you create it. And you create it by getting good at something. And to get good at stuff, you start by doing something you suck at. Then you get good, then you like it, then people ask how you found your passion. Answer, by starting when you sucked and not giving up.
The doers are the major thinkers. The people that really create the things that change this industry are both the thinker-doer in one person. And if we really go back and we examine, did Leonardo have a guy off to the side that was thinking 5 years out in the future what he would paint or the technology he would use to paint it? Of course not. Leonardo was the artist, but he also mixed all his own paints. He also was a fairly good chemist, knew about pigments, knew about human anatomy, and combining all of those skills together, the art and the science, the thinking and the doing, was what resulted in the exceptional result. And there is no difference in our industry. The people that have really made the contributions have been the thinkers and the doers.
To achieve true greatness, you must be mad. Madness and greatness are inextricably connected. You can't separate them. To get true greatness, there has to be some demons. There has to be a mad struggle in your mind, and you have to want it so badly. You have to want that result so badly that you are willing to put in more time, more effort, more focus, more hours. You don't get to smell the roses, man. You don't. You don't get to pet the puppies. You do. You're petting the puppy thinking about the thing that you do, thinking about getting better, because you need those resources.
Nietzsche said, "I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible." The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
Believing in yourself may be the most important thing in life. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe. And you can do anything. You can do anything. And if anybody challenges that, you tell them Bob said you could do anything.